Rider.
Bold orbit is steady. We're on course.
Remnant structure on the horizon.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
There are rock formations like this on Aya. Not nearly so big, though.
Nice work. Stay alert. This junk is prime for scavengers.
Pathfinder, a volatile canister is nearby. Another tracking signal on this canister, Pathfinder.
These scavengers are up to something. Let's keep an eye out for more. Smoke in the distance. Probably the crashed ship we're looking for. Cat killing other cat?
They really are going all out. I think we got them all.
What's this?
It appears to be a cat data log, Pathfinder. It may contain saved data of some variety.
Can we access this data, Sam?
The device is locked.
Anything you can do to bypass the lock?
This is beyond my current capabilities. We have never encountered a cat device with security like this before. I suggest we bring it back to the Tempest for further analysis.
Suvi might be able to figure it out.
Pathfinder, I detect broken scavenger machinery ahead.
Here they come!
The outlaws set up tech. We should clear them out. Here's the base Barrett wants. This is certainly a good location. You can see for miles around. Great for defending.
Temperature at the Paradise is currently 32 degrees Celsius, Pathfinder.
That's quite a change. The vault really did its job.
Something I can help with?
What can I buy?
All systems green.
It's almost unbelievable that some of the Ket would be fighting their own. The Ket always seems so monolithic, almost faceless.
There's so much we still don't know about how their society functions.
The stuff you've brought in is helping shed some light on those questions. Speaking of which, this device you found at that destroyed Ket ship, it's secured with a biometric lock that can only be activated with a specific genetic code.
So, like a fingerprint scan, except with a genetic fingerprint.
Exactly. Whatever's in this, it's probably only meant for trusted individuals.
So you're saying I have to track down some Ket?
But that would be impossible, Ryder. Remember those Ket genetic samples you scanned on Vold? Lexi's been working on the data, and I have an idea that just might work. We should go talk with her when you have time.
Got your memo, Suvi. Data's right here, but I'm not sure what you're expecting to find.
Tell me you have it all sequenced.
Yes, of course. It was the first thing I...
Perfect. Sam, can you test combinations of sequences against the lock?
Testing.
Brute force, Dr. Anwar?
Tried and true methods. And with Sam's processing speed, it should take no time.
Key found.
Whoa. We thought it was a data log, but it's not. It's...
It just locked onto a transmission.
Does it compromise our security?
The device is a receiver. It will not reveal our location.
This transmission is audio.
The Archon has abandoned our way, spurns tradition, defies protocol. He abuses uses his authority, obsesses over Remnant secrets, and keeps us cut off from home. This cannot continue. He will return to the path of right or be destroyed. This is my promise. An Archon stands tall only while we hold him up.
Someone's gunning for the Archon. I'd say that's something we can exploit.
You don't mean try to make some kind of deal?
Don't know yet. What else is in the transmission?
It's the same stuff. It repeats. I wonder if there's a way to trace the signal. Scanning for nav point. I'll transmit it to your Omni tool, in case you want to check it out.
What do you think we'll find out there?
I don't know. It might be a base of Ket dissidents organizing against the Archon.
Whatever it is, please be careful, Ryder.
VidCon channels are ready, Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, I have Dr. Kennedy on the channel. She is very tired, but alive.
And the baby?
Lungs like a banshee, and safe.
And now that you're back in the fold, it's the Initiative's job to keep you safe.
This all started with tech that could steal Initiative resources.
Dr. Kennedy has graciously offered to return her research, and any resources gained along the way.
I could always just purge all data.
No, thank you. We'll keep things simple. You and your trackers all safely accounted for.
We fought off Ket and Rokar. Those threats won't just go away.
That's the Nexus way. Shut the doors and hope. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful as hell, but it won't be long before none of this matters. There's others out there. I was just furthest along. If you want us safe, make it all safe.
Prodromos has started reversing the procreation blockers. You'll fit right in.
It's not too far, if you ever want to talk.
I haven't changed, Foster.
That's what I hoped you'd say.
You never said what name you chose. Maybe Pathfinder? Scott's good too.
No, it's David. David Edward, for an old friend. Goodbye, Ryder, and thank you.
System, home of Eos and Prodromos.
Descent is green.
Coordinating. Path is calm.
My sensors are detecting KET technology, Pathfinder.
Signs of KET still linger. There's no getting rid of them.
Loot from our outposts. And an Ark escape pod? Where did they get that?
Doesn't matter. They're not keeping it.
We need an up-close scan. This is the nav point Suvi gave us, but there's nothing here. Just this beacon.
Transmission's probably routed through a bunch of these. If I was spouting treasonous nonsense, I'd be careful too.
I'm Victor. Another variant. Solarian.
Duran he R11.
Glad he's gone.
I'm Invictor. Another variant. Solarian. Reflexes were impressive.
Duran he R11 Holor. In need of assistance.
No longer aware of where it is. Dispose of it.
Sure we can't find no way to kill him again?
Pathfinder, I have located another node on this network. Updating your Omni tool with the information.
Signal comes and goes. You've evened out the weather, but I wouldn't call reception clear. EO still feels frontier. Claimed, but not tamed, we like to say.
Ryder, Ket constructs ahead.
Get ready to fight! Looks like that's it for hostiles. Let's see what this beacon has for us.
Pathfinder, I have located another node on this network, updating your Omni tool with the information. Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface. Transmission is strong and unobstructed here, Pathfinder.
Looks like we found it then.
They're all dead.
Here they come!
Exaltation lifted our ancestors out of sorrow and tribulation. This noble gift now allows us to raise others, and share in the genetic bounty of this galaxy. But the Archon would selfishly hoard what Helios has to offer.
Recorded messages?
Meant to be broadcast to the Ket, most likely.
The Archon does not serve Ket's interests, only his own. He wastes our time on the Remnant, but keeps all knowledge for himself. The These are the acts of a traitor, not true, Ket.
Well, we found it. This looks like a comm console. It's probably what's sending out the messages.
Too bad there's nothing else here.
And so you have found me. You are a single-minded creature, Pathfinder. I see it now. Your determination will grant the Ket dominion over this galaxy.
Determination is a personality trait, not a genetic one. Not that personality is something you understand. Or have.
You waste time on pettiness. I did not reveal myself as a traitor easily. I did so only because I seek a mutual benefit.
Getting rid of the Archon.
The Archon's obsession with the Remnant incites chaos and endangers all we've worked for. This must end.
I take it you need my help for this?
I am Ket. I do not need help. I would use you as a tool to hasten the Archon's destruction. I need only ensure nothing stands between you and your target. Once he is cut down, the Remnant will cease to be a concern. We will complete our purpose here and leave.
Yeah, exaltation.
One day you will be family. Till then, fight if you must. But I offer a reprieve from this conflict, so you can destroy a mutual enemy.
It'll give us an ace in our back pocket. Just make sure the gun's loaded when we use it.
The Ket cannot be trusted. Ryder, think.
Why do you oppose the Archon?
The Archon says he will use Meridian to dominate this cluster. He says Meridian will bring us victory. We have never needed Remnant to be victorious. No, he wants more. His ambition is plain. I am not alone in this thought.
What exactly do I get from this deal?
Sometime soon, I will be called upon by the Archon to destroy you. When that time arrives, I will provide you with the means to disable my ship.
Or you could just leave me alone.
And should you fail to bring down the Archon, my treachery will be exposed.
You make me sick.
Fine. Anything that'll help me kill the Archon.
During our next clash, I shall lower my ship's defenses and allow you to use a kill code to disable it. I have transmitted the code to the console in this room. I bid you goodbye, Pathfinder. We will not speak again. The Archon believes Meridian will bring him power. He will become the master of the Remnant, its sole master. Once Helios submits, where does the traitor turn his gaze? Think. Understand. Our home is in peril.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear. Hello?
What can I do for you?
Ryder.
Sorry. That's the last book in the series. The author died before it was finished.
What about Hadra and Pari? What about the inheritance buried with the assault rifle? Who finds it?
Relax, Cora. Remember?
Hello, Scott.
How are those jokes coming, Sam?
Why do Elcor start stampedes? Because they wish to be heard.
How are those jokes?
My algorithms are formulating a new one, calculating the trajectory of the punchline. That was not a joke.
Oh, right.
Entering atmosphere. LZ in sight.
think we should head to the vault. Do stop walking around.
Any word on Tuvint and the others?
No. All traffic and communication from the forge have stopped. It's under Aksul's control now.
Any advice on how to get inside?
My shuttle can drop you nearby, but that's about all I can do. Ephra doesn't want to make enemies of the Rokar unless we have to.
We'll keep a low profile.
Avka says you need a ride to the forge. The quieter, the better. Not a miracle worker, but I'll do my best. You ready?
Let's do this. Jarl, you sure you want me here? Bringing an outsider
will give the Rokar a different perspective. Just follow my lead. We'll get my family back. Carefully. We don't want to alert the Rokar.
It'd be easier if we knew where to find your family.
The Moshai brings all of her students to the forge. I know my way around. The Govatan, a welcome center, is up ahead. It's deserted. The Govatan is usually filled with travelers.
Avka said no traffic in or out.
Doesn't explain where everyone went.
What? Where are the Rokar?
Arrivals were steady until a week ago.
Most Angara come here at least once in their lives. Either for the tradition.
Which did you visit for?
A bit of both. Come on. Let's keep looking for Baranch and the others.
It's got juice, but everything's offline. Should I reestablish comms?
Let's leave it for now. Might tip off the Rokar, wherever they are.
Why is the Forge so important?
It's one of the few ruins that predates the Scourge. We don't have many of those left.
Wherever the Angara went, they left a lot of supplies behind.
Stuff you'd want to take with you.
Aya and the Resistance provide support. If the Ket destroyed the Forge, it would be a terrible blow.
Found something. Looks like a journal.
Everyone's so enamored with Axul. You would think he was the most shy. I told Droka to make him leave, but she said that all Angara are welcome at the Forge, especially one trying to protect our culture.
Protection? Is that what he promised?
Don't worry, Jal. We'll find your brothers and sister.
Just hope they haven't done anything stupid.
It's Angaran.
Axul doesn't kill Angara.
The amount of blood and backspatter suggests a non-lethal blow.
Still not a good sign.
Dehydrated. No one's watered them for a while.
These were taken from the Forge. They would have been given the utmost care.
Broken window. Sign of a struggle, maybe?
Axul pulled us out of the lab today. Talked to us about the Milky Way menace. Shaver says he's a radical, but he's always saying what everyone's thinking.
The makings of a new recruit.
Axul's. Very persuasive.
Looks like someone tossed it.
They left in a hurry.
Or we're forced out.
You hear that?
Axul's voice.
So the Govatan, it's not part of the Forge?
No. The researchers who live here needed a place to welcome visitors.
One of the Roka left a slice of fresh elmuk at my station. I tried to thank him, but he wouldn't say two words to me. I think they've been ordered not to become friendly with us.
Lethul, my brother, loves elmuk. It's his favorite.
Think he's the one who brought it to her?
Maybe. But the rest doesn't sound like him. Lethul is very talkative.
said you got them all.
I did. They must have.
Alien, kill it.
Shit. Hope no one heard that.
They shot first. We had to defend ourselves.
Accounted for? What does that mean?
Were they rounding them up?
So much for going in quiet!
Didn't give us a choice!
Surrender's not an option with your Oka. Take them out!
Kill them! Bring their bodies to Aksul!
Car, all sides!
Don't give them an opening!
It's not over yet!
Keep fighting!
Damn, they're tough bastards!
Just a little longer!
At this very moment, aliens invade Ankara homes and reclaim
Sharp!
Area clear. Any sign of your family?
No.
The Rokar know we're here. Maybe that will flush them out.
Fear the aliens, stir up anger. An old playbook.
But he's not playing.
Guess we interrupted dinner. He really hates us.
The Ket made us fear the unknown. Your arrival will bring change to the Angara. Aksul fears that change.
What is the cost of victory? How many times will they come to collect in return? For decades we have fought valiantly. We do not need help now. Unadaptable. We've learned to live in all temperatures, all environments. The Milky Way menaces people, but they are intelligent and cunning. They will use us until they become strong. After depleting our resources, strike.
This also part of the Govata?
Living quarters for the archaeologists. Though the Rokar have...
Aksul claims we must leave the forge for our own safety. Bregon and a few others resisted. The Rokar knocked them out, then forced them onto the ship. I thought Aksul was here to protect us. Why must we leave?
Explains where the... It's locked. Sam, any suggestions?
I detect electrical wiring underground, Pathfinder. You can use the scanner to follow the wires.
There. Doors should...
There's a bridge to the ruins beyond those doors. My family should be there.
Whoa! I take it the Rokar didn't want us going that way. How are we gonna get to them now?
We'll have to jump down.
Too far to jump.
Use the rocks.
Now what?
Up the hill.
We got company! Sharpshooters!
We need to get to higher ground!
Tool must have sent reinforcements! Take them out! Can't let them reach the nest!
They've got the advantage!
Push to higher ground!
Stay focused!
We're almost through!
It's beautiful.
Even Roka can't ruin this view.
Beautiful. The Angara who built it knew their stuff.
Just wait till we get inside.
Inside?
There's a cave ahead. That's where the forge is. And hopefully, where my family is.
It feels so different than anywhere else we've been.
Do these markings mean something?
Some think it is an ancient version of Shelesh, our trade language. But no one's been able to decipher it.
Sam, can you make anything of it?
The markings appear to share more similarities.
Up that ledge.
What was this place before the Scourge?
Everyone's got a theory. The Moshai believes it was a monument.
And you?
I like to think of it as a market. A gathering place of some kind.
These stones are massive.
They were shaped from the very bedrock of Havaro, using extreme heat. That's why we call it the Forge.
Do you still use that technique?
No. It's lost to us.
Intruders have reached the nest!
I count 3. Wait! I know those voices.
Lathu! Go for backup!
Nazul! Wait! Stop! It's Jal. Jal, is that you? Barrage, our mothers sent me. All of them?
Did our mother send this human too?
Jarl, you didn't tell me your sister was such a badass.
Your people are a joke.
Tevint, please. Why'd they send you? Because we've lost enough to the Ket. They're afraid to lose you to this insane cause. But, Jal, I want you to meet my friend, Scott, so you can see that Aksul is wrong.
We need to work together against the Ket. We're here to stay. I want to get along.
Who cares?
He and Gara don't want anything
We don't need you.
Jal, our mothers want us to live truthfully.
It's because I love my mother that I will die for this cause.
Is going to blow this place
Lathu!
up. That's why he sent the researchers away.
Stop.
He has bombs.
Talking.
Stolen from your people.
Those bombs go off, it'll look like the Initiative did it.
We have to disarm them. Thank you. No. The bombs in the forge. I'm okay, Jal. I'll be fine.
You gonna make it?
I hate Axul. Don't let him win.
You got it.
I'm glad you're here. It's to find the... If Axul's willing to blow up the forge, there's nothing he won't do. Ryder, if he shows up...
I know. Follow your lead.
The bombs are already set.
How long do we have?
A few minutes at most.
Less talking, more shooting!
One down!
Now the others! Watch your head!
Stop down!
Okay, all the bombs are just...
Enemy shuttle inbound!
Six to beat toward them?
Maybe. Doesn't matter now. Watch the pillars!
Zhao! Zhao! I killed Lathur! I killed him! I'm so sorry!
He's not dead. You are lucky.
I lost my mind, Zhao. I want to go home.
But the cause? I joined because of you.
I shot our brother!
Don't leave Let her go. I only want soldiers who are committed to our cause. Not weaklings who stand by and watch the destruction of our people at the hands of aliens.
Blowing up your sacred birthplace seems pretty drastic. Your cause is falling apart. Like you.
I speak for our people. And I say, you're done, Helios. Martyr me. Please. I dare you.
I don't kill unarmed crazy people.
They move onto our planets. They take our resources, make us weak. I've watched Ryder make planets habitable. Exactly. And they'll never let us forget it. He rescued your beloved Moshai. I know. Saved her life. I know. Stop defending them. The Moshai trusts Ryder, and stop. We've been fighting the wrong enemy. Maybe the enemy is this traitor. Easy.
Jarl?
Don't! The Moshai trusts Ryder. You've become a danger to your own people. Walk away. Or I kill you and reveal the resistance for the traitors they are. The alien is not the monster here. I love my people. Come on. Let's get you home.
You okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm so sorry, Lathoum. I never...
Couldn't even kill me at short range.
They are here. Let's give them a minute. Thank you for trusting me. Killing Aksul would have made the Roka stronger.
He shot you.
I'm glad he did. It exposed how far he'd fallen.
It could have gone badly.
I knew what I was doing. You've been practicing.
A little.
We should get back. I want to say goodbye before my family heads home.
Want a deal?
Nice work. That's it. Those are the coordinates we were sent.
In the message about the Salarians?
Let's stay sharp.
Catch!
Let's look around. They might have left something. From their gear, they were hoping to capture someone.
Probably me. Sorry about that. Though, if you'd broken a sweat, I'd be sorrier.
You sent us the message about the Solarian Ark?
Yes, Major Salin Vaughn, STG, retired, of course.
What's STG?
Special Tasks Group. Back home, we were field agents who gathered intelligence and handled inconveniences.
The Solarian Union's fixers.
If you prefer. As I said, these days I stick with retiree.
A lot of people came to Andromeda for a fresh start.
I'm sure I'll enjoy mine when I find it. Let's be frank. There are too many inconsistencies aboard our Ark. They only make sense if someone betrayed us to the Ket. My best suspect is a biologist, Dr. Adden, but the evidence is thin. I need a Pathfinder to verify what I've found, or I risk arresting an innocent man.
Who's Adden? Why would he betray his Ark?
An ex-military biologist from the early wake-up team on our Ark. He claims to be studying the Ket. As for why, I intend to ask him.
Couldn't Reika help you solve this?
I trust Reika implicitly, but I can't say the same for her team. You're obviously trustworthy. If you were involved, you wouldn't have saved our Ark in the first place.
All right, I'm in. How do we catch your traitor?
I only have 2 leads left. Dr. Adden's equipment and a Ket who might be his handler. I need you and your Sam to analyze them. If we show Dr. Adden's in regular contact with the Ket, that would prove he's the one.
What's the standard punishment for Ket collaborators?
Most people would settle for an angry mob, but I like to think justice made the trip out here. Remember Dr. Adden's equipment and his Ket contact. This has to be watertight. Good luck.
Dead outlaws.
Hope the piece of Remtech Peavy needs is still here.
Well, that was a clusterfuck. They're all dead. And now you're here, I'm screwed.
You'll be okay.
Oh, really? We were supposed to clean out this site before you got here, but there were too many damn bots. This outfit doesn't care a lick about any of us.
Tell me about them.
Just joined, so I can't tell you much. The Krogan's name is Crank, or Crankit, or something. He runs the field crews. That's all I know. Here, take the choice piece from this site. I'm officially retired.
Peavy, piece number 2 secured.
Yes! I could kiss you! Last one turned up on Kadara. Sending coordinates. Leaving Avaril. Bridge is yours, Pathfinder.
Ryder.
Pathfinder, you have new email.
Entering atmosphere. LZ in sight.
Jarl! Jarl! Wait. Is that bad news?
No, no. The Pathfinder is interested in where I grew up. Ryder, this is my true mother, Sahuna Amadarav.
Nice to meet you. I know Ingarl liked the hugging.
Jarl's told me how much he admires you.
Really?
He's my favorite. Smart, loyal, kind. A great shot. Writes poetry, sews.
Mother.
I'm late for a resistance meeting. Stay clear.
Your mother's in the Resistance?
Yes. And every child is her favorite. Everyone, this is Scott.
Hi.
Look who the Karkin dragged in. Welcome back. This is where I spent most of my days growing up. Me, my sister, Guana, our cousin, Etta, and brother, Finn. Then Bavzil, Rolu.
So wonderful to
Hey,
have
Jarl.
you back.
Hey, human.
Jarl, you bring in someone special to meet us.
Wow. Cozy.
We like to live like this.
Gonna give your friends some real food?
Good to see you. And here's my room. My tiny sanctuary.
We have a saying that I like. Home is where the heart is.
I like that. Oh, no. Who put this here?
Schematics of...
When I was 7, my aunt stole a Ket weapon for me. So I took it apart to learn.
And that was a Karkin.
Pet Karkin. Alfit. He died. So I also took him apart.
To learn?
Why not? I never show people these things, but I feel like we're family.
It's been good getting to know you.
Hey, there's one more thing you might like. Sit there.
Been interesting so far. Nice. You made that?
Long ago. It's not accurate. More of a dream, really. Just one more thing I want to take apart and figure out.
Me too, Jarl. Me too.
Leaving Avaril. Bridge is yours, Pathfinder.
All systems green.
Approaching the nav point provided by Avitus.
That's the Turian Ark. It's seen better days.
Incoming call.
Pathfinder, I think we're on the right track.
No kidding. Is it safe to board?
Only one way to find out. I'll meet you inside. Limited power. Life support's busted. Surprised there's any gravity at all.
This can't be easy to see.
I'm not really a feelings type of guy, Ryder.
Even so.
Let's just find Mason. HO47C. It was supposed to be the Turian homeworld in Helios.
Like Habitat 7.
Whoever was piloting the Ark wanted to get here. No matter the cost.
Even if that meant jettisoning entire sections of the Ark.
It doesn't make sense. Come on. Speculating won't get us anywhere.
We're lucky this part of the Ark survived.
Looks can be deceiving, Pathfinder. The hull is barely holding together.
Thanks, Sam. Always a ray of sunshine.
I could provide analysis via the scanner, Pathfinder.
Hey, this door's still got power.
I wouldn't open that, Pathfinder. It leads to space. Perhaps you could divert the power to a different door. Power has been diverted, Pathfinder.
This one's still got juice.
Looks pretty busted. Think your Sam can get us in?
Only one way to find out.
I found a log from Dea Prayton, the Ark's captain. The video is corrupt, but I can recover the audio.
Play it.
Something's tearing the Tannis apart. Half the cryo chamber is gone, trying to get anyone awake to the escape pods. Spirits, there's no time. Find Mason.
Dea was abandoning ship.
She wouldn't leave unless the situation was dire. The Tannis didn't get here on its own. We need to know what happened next.
The rest of the data on this console is corrupt. Perhaps if we find another. Or the Ark's SAM node.
All right, let's keep looking.
that way. This one also needs power.
Maybe we can use the same trick as last time? Divert power from something else?
The door should now be operational, Pathfinder.
Avitus, over here.
There's still life in this one.
Sam, how are we doing?
Mason, bring it back.
The video's corrupted on this one, too.
What about audio?
Repairing now. 1 moment, please.
We need to remain objective.
Yeah, I've never been objective when it comes to Mason.
Try, for his sake.
Playing audio now.
Sam, how far to Abby's pod?
300 meters.
An easy stroll, then. Damn it! Maybe not so easy.
Where's the rest of it?
That is all I could recover.
Damn it.
We know he survived the initial impact.
Oh, he didn't sound good.
Don't give up on him yet.
That door leads to the SAM node. We've got to get in there.
The SAM node should now be accessible.
Sam, where's the Pathfinder? Where's Mason?
Avi. Commence. Stars.
Avi. Isn't that what Mason called you?
He's the only one who calls me that.
My counterpart is suffering from severe trauma. If I partition the damage, it may be able to speak with us.
Be careful. I don't want to lose this Sam because we rushed for answers.
Avitus Riggs. Welcome home.
Sam, Mason sent coordinates to this location. I need to find him.
You are mistaken. I sent the coordinates.
What do you mean you sent the coordinates?
The Pathfinder ordered me to help Avitus find a home for the Turians. I located our destination, HO47C, then sought out Avitus.
Why would Mason do that?
It was his last request.
This thing's still busted. It doesn't know what it's talking about.
We should have access to Mason's logs. Maybe there's something in there.
Abby, whatever we hit, a piece of it shredded my suit. Stings like hell, but spirits, it's beautiful. I need you to go on for the both of us. Don't let that temper get the better of you. Sam, commence transfer.
Yes, Pathfinder.
Even the stars look brighter.
He died before the transfer was complete. That must be the source of Sam's trauma.
Why bring me here? What was the point?
To complete the transfer, the Turians need a Pathfinder.
I can't. What do you mean you can't?
I never thought I'd get the job. My whole career, I worked alone. I don't know how to lead people. I don't want to lead people.
Avitus, I've seen you protect settlers. You found the Turian Ark. You've already been playing the part of Pathfinder. Just without the title.
A title that belongs to Mason.
Which he wanted you to have. Rejecting it won't bring him back.
What if I let him down?
You could only do that by walking away. Ah, damn it, you're right.
Shall I begin transfer?
It'll be safer on the Nexus. Suvi, call Tan. We need a shuttle to pick up the SAM node. Tell him we found the Turian Pathfinder.
Welcome back.
Murderer Noken Rensis, exiled for his role in the killing of security chief Ira
Tan just came through here on a tear. Have you ever seen a Solarian power walk?
Great to see you. Names, please?
Galleon Laterras. This is June.
Welcome to the Nexus.
How may I assist?
Where do colonists live?
We ask for your patience. Colonists will be transferred to outposts based on the initiatives.
What is the...
providing a safe, stable, and
How does the...
Please be mindful.
Might try for strawberries soon.
Good morning.
Hiya.
Flag up to Teon. That's yours, Nexus.
Things are tense around the pub, but not like that first 14 months, thanks to us. Think they raised the drink prices, though. Bastards.
One villain at a time, Liam.
Priorities, Pathfinder.
Oh, it's you. You again.
Welcome to the Vortex.
Pathfinder, have you seen this place? So green. Dr. Camden's been a real help.
I take it you know Vaughn. He seems to have settled in.
Hey, Vorn. Glad to see you in your element, instead of locked in a box.
You're gonna tell everyone about that, aren't you? With the supplies here, I can start really fixing things. All those disease-resistant seeds
Wait. You have what? Where? Excuse us, Pathfinder. Pathfinder.
At my age, family is more important than new experiences.
I wonder how these Angara have adapted. Such a harsh cluster.
Alain, what are you doing here?
Supervised work release as a programmer. Making up for what my mother did, trying to stop AI. I swear she said she'd only disable the blue box computers in storage. No one was meant to get hurt.
Has Knight been sentenced?
Not yet. I spoke up for her, but I don't think anyone else will. Maybe being a good citizen will help her.
We'll keep an eye on him, Pathfinder. It'll be fine.
Welcome back.
I'm Gian Garson, founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I
Hello
welcome you
again.
to the Cultural Center. Please have
What
a
do you
look
think of
around.
the Angara?
I'm thrilled to meet a new culture.
We hope you'll enjoy
They're
the
cautious, but I
diversity
understand
of
why.
people who have arrived.
If someone showed up on our doorstep in the Milky Way, we'd be skeptical too. I hope we can win them over, cement a friendship. I suppose that's on you, Pathfinder.
Thanks.
Of course.
This is Ark Hyperion, one of several ships that made the long voyage from the Milky Way galaxy to Andromeda.
This place... Safely home, thanks to you and your skills. I've learned a great deal.
It was fun to really test myself out there.
Spoken like a soldier. Your performance was exemplary, Ryder. I can see clearly why your N7 would be the best of the best. If you tire of being a Pathfinder, I'd be honored to call you a Brother Heskal.
Showdown on Kadara. Rivals vie for power.
No, we're done.
Top scientists have few answers, as the dark energy anomaly known as the Scourge limits travel and communication in the cluster. This is HNS.
Hey.
You're probably wondering how things have been going.
Yeah, feeling a little out of it. I know you're Pathfinder, but not much else. Did they make you president of the universe, too?
Well, the big vote is tomorrow, and I'm here to make sure every comatose patient has their say. Vote Ryder.
Ha ha. So what have you really been up to?
In a nutshell, we found an alien terraforming network that spans the cluster. We're going to reactivate it at some place called Meridian.
Wow. That all?
Nope. There's also a race of aliens called Ket that wants to turn all of us into them, and their leader, a guy named Archon, wants me dead.
Right. Maybe taking a long nap wasn't so bad.
Feeling homesick at all?
Well, all I've seen so far is this med bay. We could still be on Earth for all I know. But yeah, before we went into stasis, I was missing my life. Or at least the idea of it.
Which part do you miss most?
Looking for Prothean artifacts. My team was a special exoarchaeology unit, fully funded and sanctioned by the Alliance. My job, as in they paid me to do it, was to help dig up more artifacts and learn whatever we could from them. If things hadn't gone sour, it would have been a great life.
I thought maybe we could talk about Mom and Dad.
What about them?
Thought you might want to know how Dad died.
I've been wondering.
First planet we landed on. There was an atmosphere processor. It was malfunctioning. Dad managed to power it down. Saved us all. But there was an accident. My helmet broke. I couldn't breathe. And then Dad gave me his.
He sacrificed himself.
Only one of us could make it. And he didn't hesitate. He was a hero.
I remember the stories about Dad being an N7. The things people said he did in the military. I guess it was true.
You should have seen him in action. He was incredible.
Good. That's how I'll remember him then.
What do you remember about how they met?
As Mom tells it, he was doing his N7 training on Earth. She was a scientist working on biotic implants. He was trying real hard to pull off a bad boy in uniform thing. And failing. But she thought it was charming and struck up a conversation. Dad mostly just grunted. She finally had to ask him out.
Our dad, the ladies' man.
Then he went off to fight the First Contact War. When that was over, we were born, and Dad was posted to the Citadel as an attaché.
What do you remember about Mom's biotic research?
That was back when biotic abilities were a total mystery. She was a pioneer, helping people cope by designing implants. It's what made her sick, though. People got all sorts of weird diseases from EZO exposure.
What do you remember about growing up on the Citadel?
Giant space city filled with every kind of alien you could imagine. I remember trying to play hide and seek with some Hanar. It was no fair because they could float. Looking back, it's probably why I'm here. I saw how mind-bogglingly enormous the universe really is.
Well, I should let you rest up.
Yeah, only way to recover from a coma is getting more sleep.
It won't be much longer.
At least take some pictures of Meridian for me. I can pretend I was there.
I'm glad to see you and your sister back together finally.
I appreciate you looking out for Sarah.
Your family's been through enough. It was time you had some good news. Though we need to keep her around for observation. Give her time to recover.
That's all.
Welcome, Pathfinder. Please select a topic. Your current location is the Asari ship, Ark Lucinia. Confirmed departure. Presently, Ark Hyperion. All personnel should see their supervisors for updated task info. The select after... Now.
We'll get you out of there someday.
An expedition to Eos in the Pythia system has discovered a mysterious facility that authorities are calling a vault. Though not much yet is known about the underground structure, it's believed to be remnant in origin. Noted Asari scientist Pelisaria Basale.
What we activated in the vault drastically improved the atmosphere on Eos.
This is HNS.
Am I correct that it's within your power to vent the station's atmosphere and kill the organisms aboard?
My programming would only permit that under the most extreme conditions.
Exactly what would those conditions be?
Why do you wish to know?
No reason. My Liberator. Welcome. It would... My Liberator.
You seem
I am not violent by...
Do you...
Yes. What Your ambitions remain small. It would...
Welcome back, Scott.
That...
Of course. Your father's first sidearm, a memento of his early Alliance service.
I bet that saw plenty of...
Your father's personal logs.
Ryder, one of the Angaran delegates was here for a tour. A first contact already. Who'd have thought? They seemed nice. Of course, that's how diplomats are supposed to seem.
Thank...
Pathfinder?
Still not spending time in the Nexus, huh?
No, I made the round. My old apartment's been appropriated. Guess they need the space.
You seem sad about that.
Not sad, exactly. Guess I just realized how nice it was to have a quiet place where I could disappear. Now, everywhere you go, boom, people.
Authorities continue work to establish contact with our Milky Way descendants. As of now, beacons confirming arrival in Helios remain unanswered. This is HNS.
Firearm proficiency is up.
I got your report. Both our Pathfinder and the Natanus? What a mess.
It could have been much worse.
True. We've got survivors to find and a new Pathfinder out in the field. I'll take it. I owe you for this, Ryder. They'd still be lost without you.
Bye, Ken.
You...
Hey, Ryder.
Yes?
We don't have a good sense of what we're up against, and Quebec... You'll...
All personnel be advised, Turian colonists are incoming.
I can't believe he's not returning my Pathfinder.
I met another...
Yeah. Almost... Come to think of it, I haven't received any up...
Talk...
A reminder to all personnel, overtime hours remain in effect.
I know my rights.
So when will you remain silent?
When do I get my lawyer?
Haven't thought out many lawyers yet.
A hostage crisis in Minor
I'm worried about it.
Yes, Pathfinder. Oh, I suppose it's like,
What's your...
Please
And...
Your progress thrills me. Make my job obsolete, Pathfinder. I dare you.
Another...
Pathfinder.
Any word from Dr. Kennedy now she's on Prodromos?
She's as difficult as she always was, which is how it should be. Andromeda isn't supposed to change everything.
You two seem very different.
I met Jean at a university bar. She was talking libertarian and drinking vodka slimes. I instantly hated her. An hour later, we were back-to-back fighting half a lacrosse team, and somehow she hadn't started it. I bet there's someone like that on your ship. They drive you crazy, but for some reason, you just click.
Oh. Yeah. Some people just... yeah.
Then you understand. Life is so... safe without those kinds of people. Some might say better, but they're not in the initiative.
Director Addison?
Pathfinder.
Ah, Ryder. Grab a seat.
So afterwards, the cat got twitchy. Took me a while to get back.
The idea of Solarians figuring out exaltation must keep them up at night.
Oh, I hope so.
It's satisfying to wipe that smug look off cat faces.
Your star maps were helpful, by the way.
You're welcome. Between us, charting the Scourge and Ryder's vault data, the cat will run out of bolt holes.
I'll send you our latest.
I'll take a copy as well. Anything to expand the search grid.
Still hunting down the stasis pods.
And finding them. Having a partner AI makes one hell of a difference. I guess I need to train a successor. And figure out how to prepare them.
Better to find your wings as you fly. Worked for us, didn't it?
More groundwork would have helped in the early days.
Huh. Well, that's worth knowing.
In the meantime, we've a serious matter to deal with. The first vintage bottled in Andromeda. Sent as a gift.
A good thing I brought my flask. Damn, that smells good.
Since we've got a moment to ourselves, shall we toast?
To our crews, our Sams, and each other. May we always find our path home.
Nice to see you, Ryder. What's on your mind?
Another Ark lost. But the Turians are safe, thanks to you. Well done. I spoke with Avitus. He's sharp. He'll make a good Pathfinder. He asked how I became one.
What did you tell him?
The truth. I don't repeat my mistakes.
Good luck, Sarissa.
Thank you. I'll need it.
I wonder what my place here would look like. But it's better this way.
So it's official? You're part of our little club?
I know I was reluctant, but it was the right call. Thanks for the push.
I know you make Mason proud.
I'm trying.
Any luck finding other survivors from Natanis?
Brought in another batch yesterday. Still too many unaccounted for, but we're getting there.
I'll keep an eye out.
Thanks, Ryder. Appreciate it.
How's life on the Nexus treating you?
Running water and rations. It's a beautiful thing. I can tell people are still shook up from the uprising, but compared to Varl, things almost feel normal.
So, how are you finding the new post?
Not used to having people question my actions, but I like the challenge. More than I thought I would.
Any regrets?
My only regret is that Mason isn't here to see me play diplomat with Tan. Back in the Milky Way, I would have punched sense into that worm. Now, I use my words. I'm a changed man.
How have you been since HO47C?
Fine, I'm fine.
If you ever want to talk about Mason, you know where to find me.
Thanks, Ryder. Really, I'm just not ready.
Pathfinder versus Spectre. How does it compare?
They're completely different beasts. As a Spectre, I worked in the shadows. Intel was on a need-to-know basis. Here, everyone's looking at me, looking to me. It's all out in the open.
Which do you prefer?
Being a Spectre was easier, but being a Pathfinder is more rewarding.
Good seeing you, Avitus.
Stay safe out there.
How are things going with Ark Lucinia?
The Asar.
Unfortunate news about the Turian Ark. At least some survived. It could have been much worse. And I see we have a new Pathfinder.
Avitus just needed a little coaxing.
Surprising, considering he's a former Spectre. They had a reputation for, shall we say, extreme measures. Now that he's a Pathfinder, I'll expect him to temper his methods. Did you have some other business?
That's all. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Ark has been found. But the Turian Pathfinder, Mason Barrow, was reportedly killed shepherding the Ark planetside. Former Spectre Avitus Riggs is now expected to assume the role of Pathfinder. This is HNS. This is not what I signed up for. Why? Top scientists have...
Welcome back.
You're always a welcome sight, Pathfinder. Still no word from our search vessel. How goes your hunt for the missing satellites?
Your people caught scavengers from Kadara Port stealing them. There was a fight. Your ship lost.
I sent them out. And risked your life, too. The scavengers, Angaran? Have our deserters preyed upon us again?
The criminals were my people. Exiles. They ripped your satellites into scrap. I brought what's left.
The initiative is supposed to explore, not steal and kill. Why would your people steal something that protects us all? Murder those who are only trying to help.
These were a few bad people. There are thousands of good ones out there.
How can we tell the difference? Maybe the others are right. What if you are no better than the Ket?
These scavengers abandoned the initiative, just like your deserters left you.
And we hate them, too. Keep what your people stole and go. I can't talk to you anymore. I know.
Sorry to hear things went south with that Angaran astronomer rider.
I'm sorry.
Found a silver lining, though.
Please go.
The scrap satellites are gonna come in extra handy.
Not as handy as what we could have had, but I'll take it.
That figure really is something. Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
I picked up this figure earlier. It might be Angaran.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
Could it be a relic from another culture?
The technique and material matches other Angaran relics, and you found it in one of our worlds. But perhaps the depiction isn't an Angara. It could be a deity of some sort. You've given me more to study than I ever expected. I've got a lot of work ahead. Thank you for your help, Pathfinder. I'll let you know if I discover anything. Good to see you again.
I should
come back.
You know, the more I interact with the Angara, the more I feel for them. Especially with what we know about exaltation. I can't imagine.
The Angara are resilient. Learning what the Ket are doing will give them new purpose.
Well, I'm determined to help them. We need to make things right.
Pathfinder.
I'll leave you...
Hello, Pathfinder. You did it. Infiltrated the Archon's vessel and returned victorious.
And saved one of our lost colony ships from the Ket.
You're getting a taste of the war we fought for decades. With the relic in your possession, you'll be able to find Meridian and answers. I envy you.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
Are you originally from Aya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Jarl is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. A Valek comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
When the Ket are gone, if we fix all these worlds, what do the Angara want?
Depends who you ask. We're individuals. Paran will continue spreading hope and optimism. I don't know what Ephra will do without an enemy to fight. Retirement won't suit him. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what people do when they're no longer needed, right?
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare.
Stores open. Stores open.
Ryder. No trouble, I see. Good. Visit me for all your data. What's this? New wine?
Owen just put it in stock. It's been working forever, says it's the best.
Hello?